I come from a very poor home. My parents could not even afford for me to fly from Lagos to Port Harcourt. First school fees in University of Lagos, which was 60 naira, my parents could not afford it. I had to borrow 60 naira.
Hey my loves, welcome to my channel. My name is Charity Lawrence. The man you just watched on your screen right now is known as Pastor Daniel Olukoya, and he is the General Overseer of the Mountain of Fire and Miracles Ministries. In this video, I share 6 things that you probably never knew about him. Enjoy. Daniel Olukoya was born on the 15th of July 1957 in Akure, Ondo State, Nigeria. His father was a police officer and a pastor, while his mom was a trader. He started his nursery and primary education in Akure, but finished his primary education at St. Jude's Primary School in Lagos, where his family relocated to Lagos State. Then he went to Methodist Boys High School for his secondary education. It was while he was in this school that he became born again. He said one of his teachers, who was an Indian, told them that if they wanted to escape poverty, they had to read their books. And he took that advice personally and decided to start reading from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. every day. That means he read 6 hours daily. And because he was disciplined, he finished secondary school as the best graduating student of his set. He then proceeded to the University of Lagos to study microbiology, and he graduated with a first-class degree in 1980. By the time he graduated from the university, he won a scholarship to study for a Doctor of Philosophy in molecular genetics at the Reading University in the United Kingdom. And within 3 years, he had his PhD and returned back to Nigeria. Now, some of you would say, how can he move from doing his BSc to doing a PhD? It's very, very possible. So you can Google it. They do it, okay? He had a very good grade in his BSc, so he could just go straight up to doing his PhD. After Daniel Olukoya relocated back to Nigeria, he started a prayer group in his sitting room in Lagos State with just 24 persons. They would gather for intense warfare prayers, and in no time, they began to grow. And in 1994, the prayer group became a church known as the Mountain of Fire and Miracles Ministry. The sitting room was too small for them, so they had to go rent a space in a primary school for their services. Today, MFM is one of the largest Pentecostal movements in Nigeria, with more than 300 branches across the globe. The church has a lot of properties, and they even have a university known as the Mountaintop University in Ogun State. I heard that in that university, every student must learn at least one musical instrument and one foreign language. That's impressive. Pastor Daniel Olukoya said no pastor taught him how to pray. He actually taught himself by the help of God. He said when he was in Form 4, hot oil from a frying pan poured on his right leg and burnt his skin. He had to stay home to recover for a few days before going back to school. On getting to school, he and his friends went to the notice board to look at the result of students that just graduated from the school. While they were there, the cane master came around, and as they were trying to run away, he slipped and broke his hand. So he was rushed to the hospital, and in the hospital, they had to put POP on his hands. He said while he was on his bed that night, one of his hands in POP and his right leg burnt. He heard a voice telling him that if he doesn't start praying, he would not be able to take his senior school certificate examination, and that means he would not be able to graduate from secondary school. After hearing that voice, he began to pray, as it was obvious that Satan was working overtime to frustrate him from graduating from secondary school. So it was on that bed that he learned how to pray spiritual warfare prayers. And as I earlier said, he graduated as the best graduating student of his set. As a way of encouraging youths in Mountain of Fire and Miracles Ministries to be studious, Pastor Daniel Olukoya began giving an award of excellence to graduates who finished with first-class degrees in their various institutions. He started this award in 2010 by giving out 19 cars to 19 first-class graduates in MFM Church. By 2013, the church had over 77 first-class graduates, so they couldn't give out cars anymore. They decided to start giving out cash gifts. Currently, the amount of first-class graduates have multiplied. It was while I was reading up on him that I found out that MFM actually gives awards of excellence to their first class graduates, and this is very, very commendable. And I'll see why when I was in school, MFM students are usually very studious. This is really commendable. Well done, Pastor Daniel Olukoya. Pastor Daniel said he met his wife when she was singing as a member of a choir in a church that he was invited to minister. He said one night, during a conference in Italy, he asked God for a wife that would willingly walk with him and fit into God's purpose for him. And God brought the image of this lady to him. He said he wasn't sleeping or dreaming. God told him, this is the woman. Mrs. Folashade Olukoya said that she was a chorister when she met her husband, and he was a music director that was sent to help improve the performance of their choir in their church. One day, he requested to see her in the counseling room. She was surprised, and on that day, she was in a dry fast. When she got to the counseling room, he then told her that God was laying it in his heart that she was his wife, and if she had enough time, she should pray about it. She took a 3-day fast and prayed about it, and God answered her prayers and showed her who her husband was. As a talented artist, she sketched the face of the person for reference purposes. After praying, she gave a response to Pastor Daniel Olukoya, and they courted for 1 year and a few months before they got married on the 11th of November 1989. Their union is blessed with a son. Pastor Daniel Olukoya and his wife, Shadi Olukoya, said they waited for 14 long years before having their son, Elijah. While they were giving their testimony after the birth of the son, the wife said the husband just kept on worshiping God. Immediately the child was born, he kept on worshiping God to the extent that the nurses had to remind him to go and see the son and the wife. He was so happy. He worshipped God to the extent that he created a song that is very popular with the MFM church today, known as Okay Nla. And that, my loves, are 6 things that you probably never knew about Pastor Daniel Olukoya. If you enjoyed this video, do well to subscribe to my channel, give this video a like, share with friends and families, and do well to watch other videos on the channel. I'll see you all in my next video. Till then, enjoy.